Hi gang, this is Emmy and I'm the FU Fiber lady. So somebody asked me the other day, why don't you do walking videos anymore? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I couldn't think of anything to talk about. And for those of you who know me, that's kind of funny because I talk all the time. So today I do want to talk about panic attacks. So in the year 2000, with the millennium coming and everybody saying it's the end of the world, I have sort of a huge fear of dying. And so when they were saying that the world was going to end in 2000, I had 3 babies at home, I was completely freaked out. It was also a busy time in our lives with the kids and work and life. So I started having panic attacks, like really bad. It got to the point where I was hospitalized because I thought for sure I was dying and having a heart attack. I had to go on Zoloft. That helped a little, and then I had Xanax for when I had an attack. But there was one day I was having them every 15 minutes. They were completely debilitating. My mother had to come and stay and help with the kids because I just couldn't function. I felt very weak, it was very hard on myself. My husband was so supportive. I was lucky that way, because if you don't know what like real anxiety is and what panic attacks are, like how do you explain it to somebody? I hated the side effects of Zoloft. It made sex almost impossible. Things didn't work. And then that made me depressed, and I've never been depressed. I've just been anxious, and that was just like an ugly cycle. So it took me about a year and a half before I was able to wean myself off of it. I had to I read self-help books, like, I don't know, The Secret, motivational things. I did some meditation, had some therapy. But the biggest thing is I had to figure out what my triggers were that were causing the anxiety. I had an issue with a staff member that I really wanted gone, and finally got to the point was like either he was gone or I was gone, because he made me super anxious. What I learned during that time when I was determined to get off the medication was I needed to face my different stressors head on and figure out like ways to cope. Turning around, the sun's kind of in my eyes. Oh, now it's really, that was a bad move. Anyways, I have to get back to work though. One of the other things that someone said to me or I read was that you shouldn't stress over things that you can't control. And that was a hard lesson. You know, if somebody's behavior you find offensive, you can't control how they're behaving. Like, I hate when people are rude to others, but I can't control that, so I shouldn't let their negative or their bad behavior affect me. And a lot of times when I'm worried about something, but it's something out of my control, I have to let it go. And I mean, I'm 56 years old. It took a long time to learn this lesson, but I haven't had a panic attack in years, and I'm able to control it. I also have like things that I do. I always have water in my car when I'm driving, because for some reason driving, especially if somebody, cut you off or you flipped you the finger or was a rude driver. I'm a polite driver. There's a lot of rude people out there, and I'd get anxious driving. I would open the window and I would drink water. Another thing I do is I call my mom, because if I talk to somebody on the phone, then I realize I'm focusing on the conversation and not on the accelerated heart rate or the shortness of breath or the other feelings you get. Another thing that triggers, at least for me, is caffeine. Caffeine will speed up your heart rate, gives you the same sensation as having a panic attack. So I have to severely limit my caffeine intake. I have a cup in the morning and sometimes a cup of something between 1 and 2 in the afternoon. COVID was a bitch of a time. You can't control it, but I could control myself. I could be as physically fit as possible. I could eat as nutritiously as possible. I wash my hands, I wore my mask, I use hand sanitizer, which I'd never used in my life. I drank a lot of water. I social distance. That was how I controlled my behavior, because I couldn't control the fact that COVID was a huge and serious threat and people were dying, and it was horrible. So if you suffer from anxiety or from panic attacks, I feel for you, and I would love to help in any way I can. If you ever want to talk and have questions, message me. I hope this reaches some people and maybe can make you feel inspired that you too can overcome them. It's been 20 years since I've had a panic attack. It was a huge relief because it really was debilitating. I missed a month of work at Christmas. I mean, the whole thing sucked, but I have faith in you that you can overcome it too. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.